Hi, Amy. Thanks for making time today.
Hey, Dave, thanks for having me.
Hey, I've got a bunch of questions to ask you. The first question is, what is your background?
So, I started my career with a business background. I actually have an undergraduate and graduate degree from Wharton, and really spent, I'd say, thirds of my career in different places. So, I spent the first third working in corporate America, but also small businesses. So, I was really into kind of the business world and did a lot of different things. And I often say, I was a millennial before the millennials because I was fortunate enough that I would make money in one job and then have enough money to sort of take another job where there's a little bit more risk, and maybe it was a startup and that sort of thing, and then do that for a while. And then I would sort of ping pong, and people were always amazed that I was doing different things, but it worked for me at the time. And then I sort of had this epiphany kind of mid career around doing television production. So actually, I was in that world for about 10 years. And then the last part of my career, which is really the last 15 years, started with a master's in counseling and then led to executive coaching certification. I've been an executive coach ever since. So I run a CEO peer advisory board through Vistage. I've been doing that for about 6 years, and I'm an executive coach and work with various levels of leaders, really in all aspects of within an organization.
What is a business challenge that you faced in your career?
I ended up on Joe Biden's first presidential campaign, and I was brought in as his budget director. And when I came in, there was only, a very small little budget. And the big challenge there was the time frame. So this was 1987, and there wasn't a lot of technology that people could really grab onto. It's not like today at all. So when you're thinking about a national budget of a presidential campaign, where you have different people who are spending money at different rates and different cost centers, and I had to be able to aggregate that in a way that could say, here's the bottom line, here's the total number. This is what we need to raise in order to cover this particular expense. And that was really important to the campaign. And it was hard. And I found a product that had to be really tailored. It wasn't even known to have this function, but it was like VP Planner, I think it was called. And that was a huge challenge, and it worked.
What business networking advice do you have for others?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I'd say that I think what's really important is mindset to start with. When you walk in to network, why are you there? Are you there because you want something? And usually that's when people will go to networking. They're like, I got to network because I need something. And that just turns people off, and people can really feel it. And you don't realize that your presence is showing your mindset. So if you walk in and say, networking is the part of my life, it's not this one interaction. It is kind of these myriad of interactions where I'm there, as you said earlier, what do you need? You can't always walk into a networking situation needing something. You need to also be able to feel like, what can you give? And I think if you come in with that giving mindset, and it really has to be real. You can't say, oh, I'm gonna go in. I know the right thing to do is to give, and so I'm gonna go into that networking situation and give. It usually doesn't work like that. You really need to really feel like this is an opportunity, and it may not work for me today, but it's going to work for me at some point. And if you show true care, which I think is the other piece, so it's a mindset of giving and caring about other people. I think that will deepen the relationship. And when the relationship is deepened, that's when people really flourish and are able to network in a very positive way.